Behavioral science, the FBI section that deals with serial murder, is on the bottom floor of the Academy building at Quantico, half buried in the earth. Clarice Starling reached it flustered after a fast walk from Hogan's Alley on the firing range. She had grass in her hair and grass stains on her FBI Academy windbreaker from diving to the ground under fire in an arrest problem on the range. No one was in the outer office, so she fluffed briefly by her reflection in the glass doors. She knew she could not look all right without primping. Her hands smelled of gun smoke, but there was no time to wash. Section Chief Crawford Summons had said, now. Which, of course, James, is from the famous spooky horror serial killer novel that is from, of course.
That is James Wan directing The Conjuring, Part 3. She's back again.
Hey, bro, she's back again. Didn't you know it? Did you hear? She's back again.
Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Famously, Tom Harris's The Silence of the Lambs. Famously, Clarice Starling. I thought you get that. I thought that one was a gimme because it's a
no,
film.
dude. If I'm honest with myself, that was my second guess. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you lying?
No.
Okay.
I was gonna go with that one next. Yeah. Rums.
Damn. Well, I would just like to say before we get started that it has been hot as holy hell the last few days.
Oh yeah.
And so what we're doing tonight is I've cracked a beverage.
Okay.
The air's on, and we're just gonna chill out and have a fun podcast. Okay.
Okay.
It's gonna be relaxed. If you're listening to this, if you're watching it live, if you're listening to it later, put your feet up, crack a bevy, and just hey. The holidays are nearly here. It's nearly that time of year to relax. This is your opportunity. We're giving you a freebie before the end of the year. So this is that opportunity. Welcome to The Advisory, the first and last advice show on the internet, where we answer questions to learn a little bit more about what it means to be human. All advice is final and legally binding. May we see the disclaimer, please?
We shall.
It's very good. We get the logo up there. That's a nice bit of branding.
Yeah, you always got to show the logo. You got to show the logo.
That's how they know.
Exactly.
It's our internal documentation is also nicely branded now as well, which I was thrilled.
I've seen that. With wonderful.
The opportunity. It sort of pops. It really pops off the screen. We are working on concocting a way for the audio listener to also consume the disclaimer, but that'll sort of come. That'll come as as part of the procedure and the process of this show becoming obviously the most popular podcast in the world.
We'll let AI figure it out. The AI will solve it.
The AI will put it in there and it'll do its thing.
Oh, you were James, speaking of it being hot, right? You were saying it's been hot, so we're cracking a bev.
Oh, mate. Cheers. Cheerio. Mate, tink. You know what I'm saying?
Buy yourself a Frank Green bottle this Christmas. Not sponsored, just great advice, as we like to do here on this show.
Just good advice. Yeah.
No, I went to see Sleeping with Sirens last night, and it was 30 degrees last night and humid as fuck. And it was an indoor show at the Triffid, and I saw 4 separate people completely blacked out being dragged out. So stay hydrated with your Frank Green bottle this Christmas.
Yeah.
And, or any other liquids.
Whatever liquid you prefer. What I would say is try and stagger your consumption of liquids. You don't have to piss 4 times in a podcast, because that did happen.
Yeah. We won't name names. We won't name names. We won't say who that was. No, but
I don't want to get anyone in trouble.
And I would like to say it can happen to anyone. It can happen to anyone. Don't let it be you.
Hang on. So, because here's the thing. You may not know this, James. I bring it up pretty infrequently. I was actually the head chef at Sizzler for 4 years.
You never mention that at every single chance and opportunity that you get. That's strange.
I tried to mention it. We were the flagship store of the country. I tried not to mention it. But, as a part of that, I sort of learned, I developed quite good bladder control, is what I would say. So, it could happen to anyone. Couldn't happen to me is all I'm saying.
Definitely. Sorry, I'm just really quickly asking AI. My friend is gaslighting me about needing to urinate this one time when we done a podcast. What can I do to make him stop? And we'll just sort of see Oh, it sounds
We'll
like
see
you're
what
dealing with a
happens.
difficult situation with your friend. Gaslighting is a form of emotional abuse where someone, yeah, typical AI stuff where
Yeah,
it
we
just
know,
likes to
we know.
explain something. If your friend is
Hell yeah.
gaslighting you, it's important to recognize the behavior and to address it directly with them. It may be helpful to have a conversation with them about their behavior and explain how it makes you feel. It's important to communicate openly and honestly in this situation. If your friend continues to gaslight you, it may be necessary to seek support from other people in your life, such as close friends and family. So this isn't really
True.
giving me
It's
AI
not
hasn't
really
replaced us on this podcast just quite yet, because so
not
far
quite advice.
it's not actually
Yeah.
giving me any sort of sorry.
Just
What actionable steps can I take?
yeah, it just sort of described what was happening, didn't it?
Ah, here we go. Perfect.
Oh, okay, go on.
Number one, recognize the behavior. The first step in dealing with gaslighting is to recognize that it's
Okay,
happening.
we've done that. We've yeah, it is gaslighting.
Pay attention
yes,
to your own
it's the next
feelings
step.
and thoughts. I feel upset. I feel attacked. Okay, cool. And try to identify any instances where your friend is manipulating you or causing doubt in your perceptions. Oh, every waking second, every breath and word that escapes his lips.
Specifically 6 p.m. AST on Twitch or television / Black Swan Society. You know, pretty regularly, I would say.
YouTube.com/@Black Swan Society. Thank you.
Or any of your podcast catches of choice, probably.
Sorry, just really quickly, if you can stop gaslighting me for a second. Number two is communicate openly and honestly. Once you've identified the gaslighting behavior, ring-a-ding-ding, check, identified. It's important to communicate openly and honestly with your friend. Yeah, okay. Explain how the behavior makes you feel and why it is unacceptable. Try to remain calm and avoid getting emotional or defensive. Okay.
Right, okay. All right.
David?
Go for it.
Sorry. Explain how their behavior makes you feel.
Yeah.
David, your behavior makes me feel sad. It makes me feel downtrodden. It makes me feel rustle-tussled, kicked about, and not in a fun way. Not in a rustle-tussle.
It's good to know I have that much power of like that much kind of power and influence over
and
your
why
life.
it is unacceptable. It's unacceptable because I like to not feel sad.
You are famously boisterous and sort of happy.
Trying to remain calm and avoid getting emotional and defensive. I think I did that, you fucking piece of shit cunt. So, sorry, just really quick. Seek support from other friends. Obviously, if you're listening to this podcast, reach out to me. Right down there at the bottom there, at my pixel persona. We'll chat about it. And we'll support each other because really, David doing this to me, it affects me, it affects you, it affects everyone. So we'll talk about that offline. Consider seeking professional help. It's fine. I'm dealing it with myself. And number 5, take care of yourself. I will. Solved.
All great advice. James, before we get too deep into the cut, I do want to just again remind the humble listener or viewer that our Christmas special is coming up on the 22nd of December. We are aiming to kick that off roughly 5 p.m. AST. We're still finessing the details. We'll do a normal, excellent episode of this podcast, and then we will be doing a bit of a fun reading of something kind of spooky, where I will
spooky.
Give James.
You've gone spooky with it instead of being
for every holiday. For every holiday, it's going to be spooky. Yeah.
Every holiday, it's going to be spooky.
Every holiday.
So okay, is it at least going to be sort of like a Silent Night, Deadly Night type thing? Is it going to be sort of like a Black Christmas type vibe where it's spooky, but it's Christmas related?
I'm glad you asked me that question. This really feels like a production meeting that we should have had offline. You know, I'm still working.
That's cool. Oh, sorry, hold on, guys. Yeah, take a minute. Take a minute to yourselves.
Just take your AirPods out for a second. Just
cool.
talk amongst yourselves. I haven't really worked out what the 2 options are I'm going to present. I have gathered all the questions for the episode, but I haven't quite worked out like the short story yet. So it's sort of it's in flight. I'm thinking it could be kind of funny to do one that's obviously Christmas themed, but that's a complete misdirect, and it turns out to be not.
What to do when your friend drops the ball on an event?
Okay, we have 2 weeks. I'm still together. It's 2 weeks away. It's kind of in flight currently. I feel like dropping the ball's a bit harsh.
Okay. Step number 1, communicate openly and honestly. First step is to talk to your friend about what happened. Be honest and direct in your communication and explain how their actions have affected you and the event. David, you're fucking it up, cunt. All right? you're fucking it right up. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Get it together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And
Mm-hmm.
when you don't get it together, it makes me feel sad. And we've been over why
Okay.
I don't like to feel sad. So,
Yeah, I don't really care if you feel
discuss
sad.
the situation and come up with a plan. You'll do that. And number 3, be understanding and forgiving. I'm not going to do that, obviously. Number 4,
Obviously.
consider seeking outside help. Absolutely will do that. I'm already doing it. I'm talking to AI. And number 5, let go of perfectionism. I will.
Right.
I feel much better
Okay.
about it
Well,
now.
yeah, I mean, I've watched stuff you made, so clearly perfectionism isn't really on your radar. Um,
Sorry. What
just
to do when you keep going? I'm just going to ask when
right. Yeah,
your
yeah, yeah.
friend, in inverted commas, friend, attacks you on a live stream, but with words. Attack me with words.
Right. Not physically. I didn't. Well, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's
Yeah.
thinking about that one. So we'll circle
Oh,
back.
it's got to really put that in the pipe. James, let me ask you a question. Is that all right? Hey, I don't want to impose. I know you're having a bit of an evening.
No.
Okay.
That's perfectly fine. Except I am just sort of going to have to follow the advice of this. It did say to remove myself, block the
Oh.
person. Okay, well, sorry, I've got to get rid of you too. That's unfortunate. And
Mm-hmm. Oh.
report the abuse. Seek support and consider.
This is
What's up?
oddly on point for today's feature question, by the way. So that's really interesting. This is the AI must have crept on our Google Drive and worked out what we were going to talk about. I think they're always listening, folks. They're listening. It's always listening, mate. And they've read the AI's read our document and it heard and it's trying to stitch the show together for us, which I appreciate.
That's
Appreciate that.
AI, mate. That's AI. Just trying to make it
That's AI,
a
baby.
little bit easier for all of us. And I, for one,
Mm.
appreciate and accept our new software overlords.
Same. There's a bit of sizzle for later when we do the feature question. It is related to blocking and it is related to removing yourself from the situation. As you might know from obviously the title of the episode, James, as you might well be aware. But let me ask you this. This is from Studious on Reddit. There is a hyphen between stud and eus. Not sure what to make of
His
that.
name's probably Stuart.
Studious. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you wait, hang on. You think that if you're called Stuart, the first nickname you go to is Stud?
No, I think it was, so he wanted to call himself Studious, and he's like, but my name's Stu.
Oh,
Studious is what he was going for. Yeah.
Studious is good. Yeah, but that would be STEW. This is STUD. So that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, and you should be embarrassed that you said that. This one comes from us. Comes
How
to
to
us
get
from
AI to
Red.
kill someone? You go. Keep going. You keep going.
Yeah. This one comes to us from Reddit. James, this will be right up your alley, of course. New programmer here. If I'm given an option to select between DevOps.net, Samarin testing, which one should I select for a decent work-life balance?
Oh,
So James,
that one's easy.
I'm always asking you. DevOps.net, Samarin testing, which because you're such a software expert. Which one would you choose for good work-life balance?
Definitely, sort of off the top of my head, it's difficult to say which option would provide the best sort of
It's tricky.
work-life
It
balance.
depends where you're working. Depends where you're working, right?
As this can vary, depending upon a number of factors, including, the specific job you're applying for, the company that you'll be working for. In general, though, some roles within the technology industry may offer more flexible hours and a better work-life balance than others. For example, DevOps engineer may have sometimes they have to work on call, be available to troubleshoot issues outside of regular working hours. On the other hand, though, if I just think about it, which I am thinking about it right now, a developer who works with the .NET framework or Xamarin, did you say? We call it XChat in the biz, may have more regular working hours. Similarly, a tester may find a more predictable sort of like work schedule. And that's sort of like how I personally just feel about it.
Those were sort of your thoughts off the top of the...
Just off the top of the nut, so...
Right.
Yeah.
So it's starting to feel like what you've done there is you've put that question into the AI, and you've gone ahead and you've read what the AI has said.
Okay,
I can see that
that's an accusation.
I could see that you've highlighted the entire cell where that question lives, and you've gone ahead and copied that. So
Hold on,
I
look
think
again
what you've
now.
done
Look again
here,
now. It's
yeah,
not
okay. I see.
highlighted. So
I think what's happened here, James, is that you have outsourced your one utility on this show, which is providing advice, to an AI. And that's frankly, if we want a show run by AI, we run a show run by AI. So I just think you should check yourself for a minute and just sort of think about, are you automating yourself out of a job? Okay. Because that was quite shameless and sort of embarrassing to watch. So I just want you to kind of keep that in mind. Just sort of roll that around in the old brain pan. Because that was just wow.
mate, I'm not
wow.
outsourcing myself
Yeah,
on this
definitely not.
podcast. Sort of
Definitely
gonna
not. Yeah,
cover
definitely.
me up there.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll just sort of do a little bit of that. No, I mean, you know how much I love this podcast and sort of just all the stuff that we sort of get to do each week. Come up
Yeah.
with a funny joke about DevOps. So I love this podcast, and really what I have to say about this whole situation is, why was the DevOps engineer bad at tennis? Because
Why?
because he had to roll back his serves. So,
that's actually not that bad.
That's
not that bad. That's a real
you.
dad joke, but that's actually not that bad. James, if you had to guess, what do you think DevOps is?
DevOps, sort of off the top of my head, is I would say a software development method that emphasizes collaboration. It's all about collaboration these days. You know how it is, particularly working from home now. It's all about collaboration, communication,
big time.
integration between software developers and IT operations professionals. And sort of what the goal really of DevOps is to help organizations quickly and efficiently develop, test, and deploy software updates and applications. So I just sort of feel everyone sort of knows that, so I don't really want to rattle off too much.
You phrased that very eloquently. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was kind of impressive. I mean, frankly, stunning. To give this person some advice, do anything except DevOps, basically. Not funny, just the truth. DevOps sucks. If anything goes wrong, you're the person they call, so don't do that. James, this next question comes to us from.
Sorry, really quick. I have to agree that it's not accurate to say that DevOps sucks, obviously, and it's a software development method that can bring many benefits to an organization, including increased efficiency and faster time to market for software updates and applications. However, implementing DevOps, it can be challenging, and it may not be the right fit for like every organization. I would sort of say, just sort of my own accord, off the top of my head, and sort of like common challenges. There can be a lot of lack of understanding and buy-in from leadership and stuff like that. So it can get. That's why some people say it sucks. But
right. Well, it can be tricky to explain how it actually fits into like your general ecosystem architecture, where it's like, well, why are we paying someone to maintain these integrations for us, or like maintain our like services, where it's like they should just work. I think a big thing people underestimate in DevOps is the amount of things you need to be aware of, like just the amount of services you need to be across and how they all link together. And that's just like a really valuable skill set, but it does mean you are kind of on call anytime something doesn't work. And that can be really tricky, especially if you have like a family.
Definitely. So that's our discussion of DevOps. And up next, we're going to talk about maybe another question that we have.
We can do that. Yeah. This one comes to us from a coward on Quora, anonymous. Coward. James, why is Leonardo DiCaprio aging so terribly?
It's a great question.
Not sure it's advice, but why is he? Also, is he? Is my question, but why is he aging so terribly, James? What do you think about that?
Look, Leonardo DiCaprio is a human being, just like everyone else, and therefore, he's subject to the normal aging process.
Oh my god!
I've always said that.
You put it into the fucking
and
AI.
Like as we get older, our bodies well, I'm just riffing here. I'd say our
Yeah.
bodies sort of
Okay.
undergo changes that affect our appearance, maybe like wrinkles, gray hair,
Uh,
loss of skin elasticity, you know, that sort of typical stuff. And these changes are a natural part of the aging process, and they're not specific to Leonardo DiCaprio. So let's sort of cut him a,
you and
a bit of a break here.
that was you riffing. That was
Um,
you riffing.
but it's important to remember that everyone
Oh
ages
fuck,
differently.
God.
You know what I mean? And there's no correct way for a person to look as they get older. So I'd remember that when you sort of ask questions like this. And also, you know, Leonardo DiCaprio, he's a human being with soft, non-software driven feelings. And asking a question like that could probably hurt those um meat sort of goods.
Mm-hmm.
So
Now, for the listener at home, you would have heard the exact moment when James stopped reading and started coming up with his own bits. You would have sort of heard that audibly when it became James's voice
what do
from
you
the
mean?
computer voice. Huh?
I was just
The thing.
riffing. Why do you think he is aging poorly? I think he's a fine wine.
I think he looks incredible for his age. So I don't understand the foundation of the question.
I don't see
It's like how,
age.
you know, yeah. I
Not for
oh
Leo. Not for Leo, dude.
enough.
When it comes
Just for
to
him, or
Leo,
is
you say he looks good for his age. When I see Leo, I say he looks good. Full stop.
right. He's got that good
Irrespective of
face
his
we like
age.
to
Yeah.
look at.
When it comes to
Yeah.
Leo, I don't see
Yeah.
age because he's
Yeah.
gorgeous now, gorgeous forever.
Mm-hmm. Gorgeous forever. James, I listen.
Yeah.
Fuck. So, okay. I don't want to do the feature question yet. I want to do another question that we can get to it.
Okay.
One of the things that's been tricky about this time of year and the whole advice sphere of the internet, as it were,
Christmas presents.
is that there are, well, so yeah, either every question is like, what should I buy somebody? Or it's like, I'm coming up to this part of the year where all of these complicated family dynamics smash together, and I don't know how to deal with it.
Right.
And
Which
so
is
half of
also
the questions,
like just really quickly, part of the reason why I wound down Weird But Wonderful, returning to a podcast catcher and live stream near you soon, was because at that time, all of the content on the internet and circulating throughout the world was COVID. Every story was about COVID. Every news article was about COVID. Every study being released was about COVID. Every like psychology journal or study was about the impacts of COVID. And it was like, I don't want to do a little COVID podcast anymore.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
had to wind it down. But now that we're getting out of that, you know, I might be, and when I say might be, I mean definitely bringing it back. So I can understand, what I'm saying is I can understand your frustration when you're out there, you're chuffing around, you're hoofing about on the internet, and you keep bumping into the same old shit.
Mate, I'm just bebopping about trying to find fun advice questions, and it's just like, shut up about Christmas.
And also, like, if I had to get, like, because you know the hardest people to buy for are your parents. At Christmas time, obviously, everyone's like, oh, you know, bloody so hard to buy for. Well, who do you struggle to buy for?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I like everyone.
Give me a person.
I'm just bad at, huh?
Give me a person.
You. I struggle to buy presents for you. Yeah.
Well, let's go with one that's more universal and accessible for those people on the podcast. And
okay, your podcast co-host.
Definitely. So what you should get mum for Christmas is because your parents, again, hard to buy for. So I think it can be difficult to choose the perfect gift for your mum at Christmas, right? And a good approach is to think about her interests and hobbies and consider getting something related to those. You know what I mean? For example, if your mum loves to cook, get her a cookbook by her favorite chef. You know, if your mum loves, you know, gardening, get her a plant or a gardening tool. You know what I mean? Another idea is to get her something that will help her relax and unwind. You know, like a spa gift, gift basket, a meditation app. Headspace is 50% off, or was. I don't know if it is anymore. That might have been a Black Friday deal. So ultimately, this is just me talking. the best gift that I think you can get for your mum will depend on her unique interests and preferences. So try to choose something that you know she'll love. A little bit of Christmas advice in this one.
I didn't predict that my least favorite thing about AI was having to suffer through this episode of this podcast. I sort of assumed it was like the decentralization of creativity and the potential for like the singularity. Turns out it's this experience specifically that I hate the most about AI. So it's kind of fun to learn.
Wow.
Just sort of about myself.
I think that the worst part about AI is, and I mean, there are several potential negative aspects of artificial intelligence.
For fuck's sake. For a second. This is me talking. For a second, I was listening to you speak, and I was like, oh, James is gonna like say something like you had me for a moment. I'll be honest.
All I'm gonna say is that
tricked me on that
one potential concern, a concern that I think about is that AI systems may make decisions that aren't aligned with human values or ethical principles. For example, an AI system may be designed to maximize efficiency or profits, even if this comes at the expense of human welfare or the environment. That's one of my main concerns.
That's your thought that you've had?
Yeah, that's my one. I think maybe this podcast, the title should probably be changed to sort of just, I'll add a dash, powered by ChatGPT. Because that is sort of
that's what you're doing, is it?
You're gonna do this no. I'm giving sort of just, this is just me coming at you with just the advice I think that you are owed really at this point. And I'm just trying to give people some great actionable advice, and that's what I'm all about. So hopefully it's helping people.
This is why we don't talk outside of the show ever. Is shit like this.
What do you mean?
Stunts like this where you've just decided to be very difficult for an entire episode and use an AI for an entire episode, and it's like that feels like
my hands are up here, mate. I'm doing nothing.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. This question comes from Mary Lee. This comes from
Thank you for
Mary
your question,
Leon.
Mary. So sorry about butchering your name right off the bat there.
Really,
we do apologize.
Fucked it up. This one comes from Reddit. This one's not fun, but it did make me go, what the fuck is the world come to?
Okay.
And then we'll do the feature question, which is pretty fun. So this is like, we're gonna do a bit of a serious, a bit of a less. Yeah, we'll find some fun in it. My roommate is creeping me out and low key scaring me. For the past few, and this is a coincidence with the book they ended up reading at the start, I promise.
Okay, and this isn't the feature question.
No, this is just a question.
Just a rego. Okay.
Just a rego. For the past few weeks, he keeps coming into my room unannounced and saying in that creepy Hannibal Lecter voice, "Hello, Clarice."
Okay. Which is so annoying, dude. My name's not even Clarice. Super annoying. But he can't even remember my name.
He can't even remember it. We signed a lease together, and it's like he can't remember it.
Signed a Clarice together. A lease together. Clarice.
I like the hesitation you have with that joke. Kind of like, I can see you second guess yourself on that.
Oh, no. That was me sort of explaining it a little bit. You sort of bake in an explanation into the... Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He also keeps coming to my room and just watching TV or YouTube while barely responding to anything I say. I try to make conversation. And it makes it less awkward. I eventually fall asleep. Then I wake up at 2 a.m. and he's still in here.
Okay.
So it's like things are like not good.
Easy. So she's obviously asking like, hey, how do I deal with this situation?
Yeah.
Easy one, this one.
Yeah.
Next time he does it, he comes in, sort of just looking around, right? And just say, oh, could you hand me the remote? Could you hand me the remote really quick? And he's like, well, what remote?
Yeah, what? Yeah.
There's no, you don't have a TV in here or anything. What remote? What remote do you have in here? Oh, you go. Oh, that's right. Because it's not the fucking living room, cunt. What are you doing in my? What the fuck? Why, dog? You've just made yourself at home. By the way, we share a home. Make yourself at home everywhere else in the home.
Literally, except here. This is the one place where you can't.
Get a sign, okay? You're going to go to Office. You're going to bring up Canva, okay? You're going to make a lovely little sign. And then you're going to go down to Officeworks and you're going to get it printed out on 200 GSM paper, okay? A3. And we're going to probably buy some blue tack while we're there so we can stick it on the door. And then we come home and we're going to stick it on the door. And the sign says, not the fucking living room, cunt.
Yeah. I would say go one step further. And what you could do is you can get like motion triggered, like sprinklers.
Okay.
Right? And so you could kind of set that up in front of your door. So if he tries to come at you, and then suddenly he's sort of wet, and that's sort of like how you train dogs not to do stuff.
Love
right?
this.
It's like the Pavlovian.
Love that idea. Let me detect that a little bit. Right, it's a very teched up answer, and I know that you probably set up some Zapier chain that's like, you know, or if this then that type situation, like if motion detected from Philips, motion sensor that I bought for $90, right? It detects movement, then spray, outdoor sprinkler system that I have set up in my. So it's very high tech. It's very high tech. My option is get one of those. You can even use sort of like an old sort of like Windex bottle or something like that, or one of those old school like hairdresser like water spray bottles.
A spray bottle. Yeah,
one of those. Kick that bad boy off Mist and over to Jetstream, and every time this fuckhead walks into your room, you're just gonna fucking spritz him right in the gob, right in the go for the eyes, Whenever you're playing with a Nerf gun and it's Christmas time, and everyone, if you're getting a Nerf gun this Christmas, everyone's gonna say to you, not in the eyes, not in the eyes. In this case, in the eyes,
James, could you fill it with chili sauce,
Tabasco? A little bit,
pepper.
Dude, absolute lemon juice.
Pepper water.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you really want to really a little sriracha water, something like that.
Is there a possibility here for sort of a 90s style bucket of pepper water on the top of the door? And so when he walks in, it's sort of.
Of course there is, dude. Tis the season to get home alone, okay?
Correct.
You filthy animal.
Hey, you fucking dog.
Ring up a paint can. Actually, again, that might be more high tech than we're thinking. When he walks into the room, just hurl a paint can at him.
Have you considered going to Bunnings, buying a series of orange bricks? They're pretty cheap. You can just get them, just ceramic bricks. And when he comes in, you sort of chuck that at him. Because probably like after the second time, he'll probably stop trying to.
Have you even considered setting up a series of Matchbox cars and easily shatterable ornaments and placing them right in front of your door?
Yeah. He's not going to fuck with the Matchbox. It's a setup. I can't cross it.
Have you even thought, because I'm starting to get the sense that this person hasn't watched Home Alone. Okay? So step number one, watch Home Alone this Christmas. Okay? Not the fourth one with the little kid with the RC car. None of that garbage.
No,
right?
No.
OG. Kevin McAllister. Go back to the basics.
The lethal Kevin McAllister doesn't pull his punches. Every trap he sets up is going for the kill.
Lethal.
Okay?
He's
lethal.
Dude, he has a strategy, okay? And this is the thing that people don't appreciate about that film. All right? And I never hear any film bros talk about this either. Okay? He clearly has a strategy and a goal that is guiding his strategy behind every single one of his traps. Can this trap end in a death? If yes, then go ahead.
Do it. I think sometimes in home security, James, people underestimate the value of lethality.
They do.
Okay. If you can
those
get
ring
a guy
door
in the
cams
head,
really need to like add some type of like flamethrower system. You know,
right, or some kind
warhead
of a
juice
poison release.
spritz in the eye system. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it's a real missed market opportunity. I'm sure in America it's a booming industry, but I feel like here we should sort of, lethality for home defense. I feel like needs to be stepped up.
Blowtorch your
Or in this
handle.
case,
when he goes to even enter the room and grab the doorknob, severely maimed. All right. Then think about that, right? How is he going to sit in your room and watch YouTube? What's he going to hold it with? A burnt hand? I don't think so, dude.
Could you remove the doorknob so he can't open the door at all? Is that an option? Can't get in if there's no doorknob to turn.
Take the whole door off and just stand in front of it doing this.
And then if he walks into you, he'll get hit.
Exactly, and that's his fault.
And at a certain point, James, self-defense, you as the homeowner, you as the person, at a certain point, it's on them to not harm themselves.
Exactly.
I feel like that's the lesson of Home Alone. It's like, if you're trying to break in, it's like, that's really on you at a certain point.
Exactly.
Have you seen this kid? He's gonna try and kill you.
He fully bricked our man in the second one from lethal height. Okay,
that definitely killed that guy.
Do you know what? That's what we're not talking enough about with these Home Alone movies. Right. First of all, the clearly psychotic nature of Kevin McAllister, but also the inhuman-like survivability of the wet bandits.
Here's a question, James. If the Predator decided to break into Kevin McAllister's house, who would win? Because not to be that guy, but I feel like Kevin McAllister could probably survive anything. The second he picks up a weapon, he's dead. But
that's a fair matchup. That's a fair matchup.
It is, yeah. I feel like Kevin would go for the lethal kill every time, but the Predator wouldn't recognize them as lethal because they'd be just like household objects.
Yes.
I think that Predator's fucked.
He has no frame of reference for a can of paint. Does he even
He doesn't know that's a weapon.
He doesn't know that that's he doesn't know that's going to be bad. Or a fan set up that's going to blow feathers onto him. He's not even seeing that as anything that's potentially harmful. And I'll tell you what, spoilers, I think it ends with a little cardboard cutout of Kevin McAllister like this in front of the furnace in the basement. And then Predator dives at him, and Kevin opens the furnace right as he dives at him, and he goes in, very Hansel and Gretel style.
Very Hansel and Gretel.
Dies in the furnace.
Yeah.
And then ooh, house ain't so chilly anymore.
Big plus helps on Christmas.
Little Kevin McAllister is warmed up for Christmas.
I think that sometimes, James, this podcast is a bit of fun, it's a bit of goof, a bit of gaff. I feel like what we've done here is a public service, and we've answered this question once and for all.
We absolutely have. David, I would now like to take you on a journey into the mind of my mind, into a space of face. David, it's that time of the week again. It's Guess the Forehead. Okay? I have another round of Guess the Forehead for you.
That's fun. Okay. Yeah.
Again,
wait,
audio listener.
Yes.
What's that?
Yes. I said yes.
Is that fun? You like that?
Yeah.
Huh?
What is this heinous? What is this heinous little tool that you've brought to the show?
Y-E-S, yes.
So, no, I'm fully aware that it's yes.
Yes.
That's the worst one. That's the worst one. Sorry.
So we
we may not get to the face game because I now have 10,000 questions.
So we recently we're in the process of moving offices at work, and one of the consequences of that is you have to get rid of everything that's in the office. And
that was in an office environment.
Yeah, we're an ASX listed business, and this was just sort of in the office. And someone said, "Hey, DMAC, do you want this?" And I said no. And then I got home the next morning because we've been out drinking, and I discovered it was in my bag.
Yes.
And the way I discovered it was I sort of went to pick up my belongings from where I dumped them the previous night before I passed out drunk, and I picked up the bag and it went
Yes.
and I nearly died of fright.
And
so
you
now
immediately
I just
Googled how does one sage a house and rid it of ghosts?
Yeah, so I just have this now.
Yes.
For the humble viewer, this is actually green. It's the green screen is sort of
it is a so what it is it's a little device, a little hellish nightmare device that just says it's a button, says the word yes on it, and when he presses it,
100%
David,
yes.
there it is. That is the bullshit that gets spewed into the universe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, there's so many of them. There's so many options.
Variations.
Yeah. Is it sort of on like a one after the other after the other after the other, or is it sort of like a random number generator?
I think it's random.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't like that. That one felt bad.
So sorry.
Yes.
Yes, perfect. So someone brought this into an office environment. And
I said yes.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And in that office environment, there was that heinous dirty bird stalker creepo, the fucking like Midnight Massacre Man version saying yes. And someone similar to that, similar sort of energy, but again, rewind back, you'll hear the most terrifying one.
Y-E-S, yes.
Okay, yes, absolutely. Yes. So someone brought that into an office environment and they thought that would be okay.
Into a workplace.
Right.
Yeah.
I wonder if they went through every single option to make sure, like, is this appropriate for the workplace?
I don't think it is.
Yes.
There it is.
No.
There it is. That's the one I was talking about. That's the one I was talking about. Yeah.
Because that sort of feels I feel like I need to have a shower now that I've
right. So you have that sitting on your desk, and then someone says, David, here are the TPS reports. Can you have those done by 4:30 today?
Yes.
Well, that sounded like
yes.
Sorry. No. Let's go back to the original answer because that sounded like that had a question mark on the end of it. So sorry, I am your manager. Yeah. I'm just going to ask again. I'm very confused. I know you have a yes button. It says yes. That's great. Wonderful. Yes. But that had a question mark on the end. So are you going to have them done by 4:30 p.m. today?
100% yes.
100% yes. Okay, perfect. So I will make a lot of very important decisions down the line that will all hinge on having those in at 4:30 p.m. So I just want to reiterate and reconfirm before I go ahead, jump on those calls and make those promises to people. They're going to be done by 4:30 p.m. today. You say
yes.
Excited about yes. All right, perfect. I will sell it. Oh, okay. Please shut up. So right. It's so unfortunate that they had to fire whoever bought that for you.
Yeah, so this is now in my possession.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So there you go.
Yes.
So you had another round of celebrity foreheads?
I said yes.
Is that
okay.
Right?
Yes, that is true. Who sorry, we'll get to it. Who bought this?
I don't know. I have no idea. It was literally just like in a box of stuff that was being unpacked, and someone was like, literally just like it was just all laid out on the table, and I guess one of my coworkers thought it would be funny while I was at the bar or something. They just slipped it in my backpack, and now I just own it.
Oh, okay. So what that person did was, now it's hard to think who's worse. I'm gonna say that the person who brought it into the office is actually the worst. The people whoever actually went out to the store and paid money for this. But then what you're saying is someone else then stole it and then planted it on you.
Yeah. So like one of the things that happens in like a corporate office.
Please don't say the word yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. The button will do the work for you.
Sorry. Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry. So
Y-E-S, yes.
Yes. Thank you. Okay. So someone stole it and then planted it on you.
Yes.
Terrifying. And you're not worried about sort of any reason why anyone would do that? Why someone would start to, because like you are concerned about it. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I would. Yes. I would be as well. Just sort of, I'd also be worried. Like you're like, I didn't have this many pens. Why are there
100%?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Why are there 2 boxes of pens in my backpack? I definitely didn't put these in there. And then are you a Oh, you've lifted.
Yes.
Okay, I saw you lift the button. Yeah, it sort of got me afraid. So you're afraid that someone is potentially doing this to you for, just to clarify, nefarious purposes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Well, good luck with that. Thank you so much for being so open and honest today, David.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, perfect. Bit dismissive on the last one, but okay.
That was a bit rude, wasn't it?
We'll plow ahead. Well, we spent a lot of time on that, so we'll just try and again, this isn't really audio listener friendly, so we'll try and blast through it, and we'll try and find a better way to do this.
Yeah, we'll work on it.
Okay, so this first head on welcome back to Guess the Forehead, everyone. This, and I have prompts this week. I took some wonderful advice from you last week and did some prompts. So your first
the advisory, well done. Because our show is called
I'm gonna need a no button or a go fuck yourself button. So I'll work on that.
I said yes.
Perfect, thank you. So this person, a 2001 MGM film villain, was based on this man.
What?
Now,
are these all actors again, or do you fuck up the category? Like how
famous people, well-known faces. That's all it is.
Film villain.
Yes, this is a real man that exists in the world. There's a Netflix documentary about him, and there is a 2001 film villain based on this man. Who is he? Who is this man?
What?
Who is this?
I have no
windswept man.
I have no earthly idea. There was a Netflix documentary about him?
Absolutely there was.
It's because he was a bad guy in real life?
Well, you know. He is and he isn't. He is. He is.
I have legitimately no idea.
Wow.
I'm going to say, who's old? Let me think. Who's old? And would have had a documentary about it. 2001.
Yeah. Not quite you yet. Only 50% of those. Old, but no documentary. So.
Spirit.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah, Spirit.
David's terrified about the hands of Father Time creeping into his face. So, you know.
I did when I was at the hairdresser today, he was like, "Do you want a 2 or a 1?" And I said 2, and he said, "No, I'm going to give you a 1 because it hides all the grays." So that was fun to hear.
And you said, where are they hiding
James?
Because you assumed he was talking about Grays the aliens. Continue.
No, I was assuming you talking about the cast of Grey's Anatomy. I think this is probably awful. Yeah, not a good joke. I think this is
yeah.
There it is.
Can I plead I have no idea. I can't even make a good guess. I've got legitimately no idea. It's someone old, a villain based on them in 2001. They've had a Netflix documentary. I don't know, man. I got nothing. I literally have nothing. Who is it?
MGM's 2001 film Antitrust is based on the man so many love to hate, Bill Gates.
What was the documentary on him about?
The documentary? I think it has to do with sort of his like philanthropy and work that he is doing with toilets and like waste in third world countries. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, for sure.
So
I legitimately had no idea. That's
Bill Gates. Let me just keep a tally on that one. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're currently 0 for 1 right now. 0 for 1.
Yeah, not a good start.
Okay. This next person, although very famous for her like in-person roles, she's also very well known for voicing a character in an animated series.
In an animated series?
Yes.
My initial instinct was Meghan Markle, but the forehead's too severe.
Okay.
Yeah, because she's got a bit of her head's a bit wider.
Right. And I would like to say nothing wrong with wide heads.
Animated series or film or both?
Animated series.
Oh fuck! Because I thought it was that chick who did the Frozen, who was the main character in Frozen, Idina something.
Oh,
Mandel.
this one next might be more helpful. She sustained a number of serious injuries while filming a ballet movie.
A ballet movie.
Yes.
A ballet movie.
Yes.
What does that mean?
She was in a film, and that film it had ballet in it. So.
No, I understood. Sorry, to be clear, I know what.
Yeah. Sorry, David's just asking AI.
Yeah.
To clarify for him.
Ballet films that I know. Billy Elliot.
What? Oh shit. Okay.
Black Swan.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I have. Is it? Oh, it's not Natalie Portman because is she in that? I don't know.
Natalie Portman is in Black Swan. Yeah.
Is the other chick Mila Kunis, or did I dream that?
It's Mila Kunis. It is Milena Markovna. Mila Kunis is an American actress born in Chernivtsi and raised in Los Angeles. She began playing Jackie Burkhart on the Fox television series That 70s Show at age of 14, which she lied about apparently to like get on the show. She was like, "Hey,
really?"
She was like, "Guys, I'm definitely." She's like, "It's my birthday," and I'm like, "Soon," and I'm like, "Definitely turning 18."
I'm fully 18, guys.
Yeah, she was 14 at the time.
Yeah, that ballet movie hint was a good tip.
All right, this one for two.
Right?
1 for 2.
Yeah. Okay.
This next one, he's an actor and a musician, and one of Hollywood's highest grossing actors.
Is it Idris Elba?
Jesus, he absolutely crushed that one.
Let's go. I didn't know he was a musician.
Besides being an actor, Idris Elba is a successful DJ who formerly went by the name DJ Big Driz. Though Elba
That's the best thing I've ever heard.
It's good stuff. He even like still DJs like now. There was like videos of him that went around recently where he was DJing.
Oh, really?
Although he's been choosy with his roles, he has regularly gravitated towards smaller personal films. But he currently holds the 20th spot on the list of actors whose films have grossed the most amount of cash. And he's right between Stanley Tucci at number 19 and Don Cheadle at 21. So
interesting.
He's making them bucks.
Yeah, he was. He's always excellent in everything he's in. He was the Heimdall in the Thor films. I think. Maybe.
Yeah.
That's how young people know him.
Time traveler guy. Yeah.
But he was. He's the Wire, right? That's where he got famous.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Because that's how I know him from.
Yeah, he's famous for me because of. Take a look at him. Hard not to love him.
He's a handsome
motherfucker.
Yeah.
Oh, he's good looking.
Yeah.
So this next,
he's a good looking rooster. Yeah.
So
wait, what are we at? Two for what?
You're 2 for 3 right now. This man began his career as a journalist, and he's been named People Magazine's sexiest man alive twice.
George Clooney.
It is George Clooney.
Yeah.
Wow. He's on it today.
Yeah.
What is that? He is 3
on the pulse. 3
for 4. He began his career following.
Yes.
There it is. Everyone's favorite button has made another appearance. I certainly hope that no one burns it. He began his career following in his father, journalist and TV personality Nick Clooney's footsteps. He also wanted to become a professional baseball player, but despite qualifying for the Cincinnati Reds, he was never recruited. Their loss.
There you go. And he did all those Nespresso ads as well. Al Gain.
He's lost Al Gain? Yeah.
Ocean's 11, are you kidding me? Look at that fucking handsome devil.
Oh, that recent one where he done a trip to Bali with Roberts. Oh,
is it? Is it good? Did he?
I mean, it's not. It's sort of. It's
I'm pretty out of touch, so I was sort of.
It's one of those movies where it's like it kind of feels like they made it to go on holiday, but it's like it's watchable.
They were trying to find a way to write Bali off on tax or something. Yeah.
And it'd be for like people who are like my parents. You know what I mean? It's definitely for like your mum or your dad, that kind of vibe. But
Yeah, got it.
It's it's watchable.
It's a bit of fun.
Our last person.
Wait, what's the score?
Currently, you're at 3 for 4. This last person, she's an actress, author, talk show host, and philanthropist.
Oh no, I don't know anything about talk shows.
She's easily got. Yeah, you don't know anything about talk shows. You know about hers.
It's not Oprah, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Oprah?
Is that your guess?
I don't know.
You got to lock it in.
Wait, I need to think about this. What do I know about talk shows? I don't know any actor. Have you got any other juice for me, or is that it?
The only other one, I do have another one here, but you'd get it based off of.
I don't know it, so I'll take the L on this, but give me the hint and I'll see if I can get it. I'll take the L.
She started her own production company.
Is that Oprah? I don't know.
It is Oprah. It is Oprah.
God damn it. I would not have got that in a million years.
Oprah Winfrey.
The hair is just not what yeah.
Was named most influential woman of her generation by Life magazine. And in the final episode of a 25-year-long talk show, The Oprah Winfrey Show, on May 24th, 2011. David, thank you so much for coming on this journey with me and with all of us on another round of Guess the Forehead. Thank you.
It's a very good game you've come up with. Every time I feel like I second guess myself when I've got it, and then when I have nothing, it's just like it's sort of, I feel like I'm out at sea the entire time. It's extremely good. I'm very behind this game as a concept. I think it's got a lot of legs. I appreciate you choosing celebrities that I would know, because they're all sort of like boomer celebrities.
Yeah, it's so like David Tennant, especially last week, was a bit of like that was definitely like
that should have been a gimme.
David Tennant, Idris Elba, they were very like, those are pro David choices. Yeah.
That's a pro David choice. Look, we're sort of right on the cusp here of the dwindling minutes, but I think let's briefly dig into this feature question, because I think it's worthwhile kind of taking our advice shovels and really sort of getting involved and sort of kind of taking the shovel head, burying it into the soil of the advice, and kind of sort of turning it upwards to see what we can kind of ascertain from the corpse of this program. If that sounds good to you.
And what I love about that is that you looked at how long we've been live for, realized that we're like sort of right around the time where we would finish up, and in order to sort of you said briefly touch on this question, you decided to go into a really long sort of description of advice
like
shoveling.
Like a simile. Yeah. I thought that could be fun given the time.
Definitely. And I'm glad about right now all of the time that we've saved by saying it and discussing it. So that's it's good stuff. The worst one. There it is. Perfect.
They are definitely on a repeating cycle. I have now noted that. James, this feature question I've labeled love, fast food, and the platonic blockchain. Sorry, crypto bros. This isn't that kind of blockchain. Sorry.
Damn.
But I just thought it was a funny way to get some clicks. So keep that in mind. I've asked multiple people about this, and they all think it's strange too. They all do this. I'm a male, 19, and I work in fast food. My manager is female. My manager is female, 22. Now, I usually don't fuck with this stuff because it's always kid shit, but this one was like, this one's interesting. Okay. We're pretty close, I'd say. It's just goofy. It's like some new age goofing. And we're pretty close. I really don't know what to call our relationship since she insists we're only platonic friends, but I swear she wants more. It's definitely sus when she goes out of her way to hide our platonic friendship from work and her current partner. We flirt all the time, and she's even told me what her type is, and I'm exactly that based on what she said. Not only that, but I've slept in the same bed as her when we got high together, and she wanted me to stay just so I didn't drive home. She's very physical with me in a flirty way and goes out of her way to talk to me. However, she has a situationship with this guy and always vents to me about it. And recently he's been slipping, and she reiterated to me that she has options, and it really felt like she was suggesting I was one of those options. But moments later, I jokingly said, "Fuck you," because of something, and she said, "No thanks, you're not my type." So far, young people shit, nothing weird there.
Yeah.
This is where I was like, James will love this.
Sorry.
She's also
still a little bit weird because she's his manager, so there is sort of like
odd. Yeah, but it's sort of,
this isn't like where
it's weird.
Yeah, it's not exactly like we're like equal co-workers and like we chill outside of work and stuff. She's your boss, and then also all of the other like weird shit laid on top of that. But yeah.
But like as far as like young people stuff, not that unusual.
Yeah.
What I love about this is how like Web 2 it gets very quickly. She also randomly blocked me twice now, which annoys me because she told me I didn't do anything wrong, but she wants to hide me from her situationship guy. But she also says she needs to make sure that I know we're platonic friends.
Okay.
So like, one of these things is not like the other.
Yeah.
There's a bit of like, I gotta hide you from this guy I'm seeing, but also it's platonic, I promise.
Yeah.
I've respected that boundary, but it really seems like she wants something more since she's so willing to hang out and talk for hours as well. She claims not to be a good texter. This is where I was like, this chick is into you. She claims not to be a good texter, but she responds immediately to me and puts actual thought and substance into the conversations. She also hits me up first all the time. So how does this make us only platonic friends? I admit I've caught feelings and I think she knows that, but I also blocked her on instant messenger because I'm sick of being randomly blocked. And if she notices, I'll finally confront her about it. But other than that, I don't know what to do. So this dude is like, yo, she's being flaky. She's blocking me all the time. What if I block her first?
Yeah.
She can't block me if you can't block me if you're already blocked. That's
this is some like typical like teenager like dumb bullshit. You know what I mean? Like the like mid 2000 equivalent of this would have been to show up somewhere that you know that the person that you like is there, and maybe you show up like with a girl who's like a mate of yours or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's that kind of like
you try and fully ignore them the whole night as well. Like the other
this is that whole like block you before you block me, and I'm blocking you so you notice that I've blocked you. Like
it's that real like kid shit which I normally avoid. But what I think is interesting about this is, so because a lot of time with these feature questions I try and find the zaniest ones. What I like about this one is it's this person's manager, so they have a working like they are working together. And the question asking makes a really good point at the end, which is, even as a friend, being blocked for no reason kind of pisses me off and makes me feel like she only talks to me for advice, then throws me to the side. But I constantly justify that to myself. Because like, there's two scenarios.
Well,
either she's into you.
There's one scenario.
There's one. Yeah. Well, okay. There's an infinite number of scenarios, but it feels like she's keeping you on the back burner just in case.
There it is.
And is kind of fucking with you to achieve that. And what I would say is that fuck that. You don't deserve to be on the back burner. Like that's just like the truth. Like if someone's treating you like this, it's because they're keeping you around so they have options. If she wanted to be with you, she'd be with you. Like, I'm sorry, dog. Like that's just how it is. Like that's just how it is.
It's like, just like it started off by saying, you know, like the situationship that she's in is like a little bit rocky or whatever. You know, he's slipping the dude that she's with at the moment. So she's probably not getting something from that relationship that she needs, and she's finding that in someone else, you, and is getting all of the benefit of that, and then doesn't have to, you know what I mean, like commit to a relationship with you're like some side PC type you know what I mean, like
you're like an emotional side piece, and that's like, if you're in that position, that person is like treating you poorly. and like you're kind of complicit in you're not complicit because it's not your business, but you are sort of inadvertently complicit in them performing some version of emotional cheating, right? Like the fact that they're not getting that from their partner. We've said this before, and I would like to reiterate: you don't need to get everything from one person. Okay,
of course.
like you know, James, like our relationship. Obviously, like I'm in control. I'm the authority figure. You get kind of a sense of subservience to that.
Mm-hmm.
You come to me for joke advice. You know, we always pre-script our podcasts. You can do funny bits. But in the same way that that's true, I don't necessarily need that same subservient relationship with like my family, like or
Definitely.
like the people I date. Like I don't need them to be under my heel and always seeking my advice on comedy because they respect me as a comedy guru. And so I just think that's like a thing.
And
that's
personally,
sort of
for me, what I get out of, and this is just me talking to the listener / viewer, what I sort of get out of the relationship that I have with David is I get to sort of like practice lying and sort of pulling the puppet strings, but without the person realizing. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that this is like a great thing to do. I'm just saying that when someone is so much of an insufferable cunt that like it's you sort of feel justified in doing it. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't. It's kind of like you know, like as dark reference to make, but like after they like got Osama and like you saw videos of everyone like take to the streets and they were like cheering, and it was like it was really weird to watch because it was like I get it, but at the same time like it's still confronting to watch people like cheer a death.
You're celebrating an assassination.
Yeah, like you're celebrating like someone. So it's weird like that. But you know how like it's kind of like that where like this person is bad, so you kind of don't feel bad that you're sort of doing this to them. It's kind of like that. And I sort of get to again sort of practice lying and practice sort of like dog. Nothing lights me up like telling a lie that I know is gonna light David up, and then seeing him react to it, and then I'm like, oh, I did that. Like it's the power can go to your head. So be careful is what I'm gonna say. But you want to make them feel like they've got the power in this. I'm saying them. I specifically, it's just with David. You know what I mean? And again, it's like find your own psychopath to do this with. It's really fun. Sort of like a Patrick Bateman type. And so it's fun in like a sick way. You know what I mean? You know how people say like, "Oh, people will like defend to the death." Like, I don't watch reality TV shows or whatever, but then reality TV shows are like their guilty pleasure they don't tell anyone about. That's kind of this, you know. Oh, man, that feels good to admit.
I always felt that like,
and now we'll jump back in with David. So.
Right. I always felt like as a general populace, I always think when someone's like, what's your guilty pleasure? And they're like, I love a glass of red wine and some chocolate. It's like, I want you to be honest. Like, you're like, I'm really into milking porn or something. Like, I want people to be really honest when you
right. And that's you saying that that's what your thing is.
No, I was giving an example.
Yeah, give me an example of your thing.
No.
Right.
So I was sort of, I was trying to come up with something off the top of the dome. That would be embarrassing to tell somebody.
Because I've seen those like the doggy collars that you have, and I know that there was a period of time where you were into puppy play, like pretending to be a dog.
I was never. So I just want to clear the record. I was never into puppy play. I never owned collars. And what James is doing is the thing he just told you that he enjoys.
No, doing. Sorry. Just really quickly. I have literally hours of audio of him talking about puppy play you can go listen to it right now. Those are back episodes of the Weird But Wonderful podcast. Go check it out. Type it into the podcatcher of your choice, and you'll be able to hear David talk about puppy play and his love for puppy play and knife play. I think at one point, like I think knife play came up as well. So interesting that you're into. What did you say? Milking. You're into milking now.
You said that, not me.
Let me just ask AI what to get someone who's into milking for Christmas.
Oh God, it's gonna think. Hopefully, it thinks it's farm stuff. I fucking hope. I hope it thinks it's farm stuff.
So this is for off podcast stuff. This is sort of just me sort of figuring out what to get to.
Personally. Oh, to get me for Christmas. Yeah. Look, my advice
Oh,
here
these are good actually. A book or guide on milking techniques, or a subscription to a dairy or milking magazine or online forum. That's pretty good. A set of a set of milking tools or equipment, such as a milking machine or teat dip. Teat dip. Okay, I don't know what that is. A gift certificate to a local farm supply store where they can buy milking supplies, or a dairy-themed gift basket, including items like cheese, butter, and milking equipment. Okay, that's all really good stuff. Yeah.
You know that there is the Australian famously corrupt newspaper has a magazine called Dairy Farmer, and that it is released every month and is a literal magazine for dairy farmers.
Dairy Farmer magazine?
If you just Google Dairy Farmer magazine, it should come up.
Okay.
And it's run by the Australian, famously in the pocket of the Murdoch media. And they just do that one for fun, I guess. So that's cool.
And you were telling me that just so I could...
Just so you're aware
could get you sort of some copies or something.
I'm not saying I want the back issues, but if, I don't know, to see what the order, see what the sort of...
Well, that's good. Thank you for suggesting that, but I think AI has suggested sort of more and far better things. So while I appreciate the human input on this one, I think I might sort of go with the
machine. Yeah.
The machine.
It sort of feels like you're angling to replace me with an AI tool. It's sort of the feeling I'm getting from this episode, if I'm being honest.
No.
Okay. No. It's just because what you've sort of done is it seems to me that you've sort of tested to see if it can be as, significant an input, can it be as comedic? And it seems like you've done that in real time to sort of check the viability of this process. And I'm just kind of worried that you might try and replace me with a machine.
Right.
On this podcast.
No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. Right. Yeah. And and what's great about that is
before that you would that you lied to me for fun, and so I guess I'm just concerned that this could also be
no. No. Sorry.
Okay.
I don't like on this podcast in this space.
Right.
Inside these four digital walls. Yeah. I don't lie here. Yeah.
Okay.
This is strictly a truth zone for me. Which is why I was so honest about the whole getting sort of like a sick joy from sort of lying to you. Off pod. You know what I mean?
Right. You can see why that might be misleading if you're saying that you are being truthful about lying, but you say that you don't lie on the podcast, which sort of implies. Anyway,
all I can say to that is, trust me. I haven't. Look.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Have I ever led you astray? No.
Yes.
Have I ever lied to you?
Multiple times. Yeah.
No.
You've lied before about puppy play and knife play.
No. Sorry, David, but you and I both know that there are hours of audio of you talking about your love for puppy play, and there might be mentions of knife play. I can't remember. I absolutely can guarantee that the puppy play audio is out there. Weird but Wonderful Podcast. Go search it. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you get podcasts, go search it.
This has been like a super fun podcast and super fun stream for me. I've had a really good time and definitely wasn't miserable the entire time. I think it's probably time we wrap it up, James. Not for any particular reason or anything you just said, but I just think like probably time-wise, sort of like looking at the clock and looking at sort of like how long we normally make this podcast, I think it's probably like a really sensible thing for us to do to sort of wrap up.
I had a great time. I think you did. I think you know what?
I imagine you did, and at my expense, I think this is what happened.
I think this might be my number one favorite app. Is that bad to say? Probably my number one favorite app.
Yeah, I love. Hey,
just really quickly.
Great. Yeah, what's up? What's up?
How hard do you think it would be to replace a podcast co-host with AI? Because I feel like UberDuck for the voice obviously can make you sound like anyone. all of the things that you say, ChatGPT, done, right? Just need like a visual, really.
I think yeah. Well, you can do the visual with like you know how people have those like anime people that look like
Oh,
them. What are they called? You know what I'm saying?
that like a VTuber type thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Oh,
think your challenge really is going to be the delay on the processing of that stuff together. You could probably like integrate it all, and you could probably get something pretty seamless. I feel.
right. Okay. Huh.
Yeah.
It's
Why would
really
you
good,
ask that?
actually. No, I'm just sort of like, I don't know if this is going to just sort of as a like just a little bit of a test. I don't know if what this is going to do. It could um it could be one of those fake PNGs, you know what I mean? With those so I'll put it it's like a potential fake PNG that we're about to see, but I just
Could be could be a WebMT file.
um sort of test, and it is one of the
Oh,
fake PNGs, but just
it
sort
is
of
a fake
like,
one.
yeah, just sort of to test sort of what the energy would sort of be like.
Okay, well, why don't okay?
Hmm.
I'm going to inhabit this character, and
Mm-hmm.
why don't you try and do a bit of a riff with them?
Okay. Perfect. Topic to talk about on a
Oh my
podcast.
fucking god!
Sorry, just sort of
Jesus
current
fucking
events
Christ!
and news. Oh, perfect.
Um,
So digital Dave. I don't know if you heard about have you heard of the American fast food company called Jack in the Box?
heard of it? I love it.
Okay, perfect. I'm sort of I'm toying with the idea of him sort of like jostling around when he talks, so that you know that it's him talking.
Don't
Uh
jostle me, James. I'm perfectly comfortable the way I am.
all right. Well, okay, that's aggressive, but we can talk about that a bit later. So anyway, Jack in the Box basically, and this is great for anyone who is a content creator listening to this, or an aspiring content creator. But Jack in the Box is seeking, they're seeking a Twitch creator. So the role includes an annual compensation and a stipend, however you say it, to purchase a state of the art gaming setup makeover. So basically, what they're looking to do is they're putting out a casting call to for someone to essentially stream for them on Twitch and be the Twitch face of Jack in the Box. So
James, I could totally do that. I actually really love calls and faces. That's like my favorite thing to do. And I'm just like always like, oh my god, it's like, is this my face or am I calling? It's like so crazy.
okay, um, hmm. That's sort of sorry, I just sort of noticed that that's like a weird sort of energy that you're bringing to the
What do you
table.
mean, James? I love doing the advisory podcast on twitch.tv/the advisory. It's my
R-
favorite thing to do.
right. No, definitely. So this is their poster for the casting call, and how you apply is you submit up to a 1 minute video explaining why you should be our gamer Jack. You will be Jack in the box, the digital box, on twitch.television. So how do you feel about that? How do you feel about real people pretending to be fake people or a made up man to represent a business on the internet? How do you feel about that, Digital Dave?
Well, James, my name's not Jack, but I can tell you straight away that, I'm a big fan of Jack as a concept. And let me tell you, I love brands and capitalism, and it would be my honor to represent them sort of visually on the internet. And also, I love rice balls, so that's like totally my thing. But
Sorry,
also,
what was
if you
that
had
last
me
one?
be Jack, what's up?
You like what? Sorry?
I just love being Jack.
Right. Did you say rice balls?
Me? No, that's crazy. You're being zany right now.
Right. So you're really sort of embodying this sort of like anime character.
I don't know
Okay.
what you mean. I hope I do well at my high school graduation test. I don't want to get left behind.
Right. I'm gonna be honest with you, Digital Dave. I thought for sure because like now you're telling me that you're a high schooler, which seems pretty
Yeah,
weird.
just because I look 30 doesn't mean I'm not in high school.
Yeah, no, that's strange because
That's how anime
yeah,
works.
the call out that we did for a digital co-host was that they had to be 18 or older. So it's weird that you've
I'm
lied about that.
definitely 18, just like Mila Kunis.
Right, so you sort of got held behind then is sort of what you're saying.
Held behind, they just couldn't get enough of me.
Right. Okay. Well, that's a strange energy. So I thought that sort of being someone who is sort of more Gen Z, that
Yeah,
you would have sort of more you would sort of talk more like a Gen Z person. You don't really
I'm
seem
Gen
to.
Z. I love Be Real and hang on. I love Be Real and I love Be Real. And
Oh,
TikTok, I love TikTok. I love scrolling my feed and watching my
oh,
videos.
perfect. Okay. How do you feel about what would you say your like fucking Riz is? How would you sort of
My
like
Riz, I'm so glad you asked me that. It's like so crazy. People don't ask me that enough. I would say that my Riz is like top tier.
top tier Riz? Fuck
Oh, it's
yeah,
like
dude.
so Riz, you wouldn't believe
Okay.
it.
Yeah, yeah. So what like lay
Yeah.
it on me. What's
Lay it on you. I
what are
don't
you
know
sort
if
of
we know that each other that well.
no, sorry. I meant sort of I meant explain, elaborate. You're saying you've got top tier Riz. What's the game plan? What do you do? How do you do it?
My Riz? Well, like basically what I try and do is like I try and like find a girl with like pink hair and then I'll like walk
Mm-hmm.
up to her and I'll just be like she'll be like, "Sup?" And then later, like I'll text her and be like, "Hey," with two Y's. And that's just like kind of how I do it. And then from there, it's like things take care of themselves.
Right. So sorry, you did sort of you had a weird sort of moment there where you sort of dropped off the internet completely and then you sort of came back. So just give me the cliff notes again. Your Riz, your sort of approach
So my
is
right, so my Riz is like what I do is like I go up to a girl and I'm like, "Sup?" And then she's like, "Sup?" And then like later, I'll like text her and I'm like, "Hi." And then she's like, "Hi." And that's kind of like how I do it, you
right.
know? And then it's like after that, it's like kind of like it's like a done deal. Like you get it.
Yeah. No, I get it. I'm not too sure if you sort of seem to get it. This
What do you mean?
is
They like it. They like it when you seem disinterested. I'm not really sure what that word means, but it's like they like it when you're like not into them. So it's like kind of how I do it.
right. Well, thank you so much for coming in, Digital Dave, for this
Thank you. This has been
test
like
run.
such an experience for me. It's like I always knew I was going to be famous, but it's like so gratifying to get this kind of platform. And just like I guess like while I'm here, if you go to teespring.com slash digital David underscore XX, and like I have like a ton of merch you can buy. It is mostly stuff for that's like drop shipping stuff, like it's like watches and it's like t-shirts and stuff. But it's like if you could go there and donate, and if you could
Right.
follow me on Insta
So like a drop
at
shipping type vibe. Which is it
no, I
yeah.
like teach people drop shipping. So it's like if you can go to DD underscore ship at Instagram, you
Okay.
can follow me there and you can
And
actually
really
sign
quick,
up for
yeah, definitely. And
for
sort
my
of
12-week
really quick
course.
before we get you out of here. Sort of
Yeah.
so because
What's up?
you were saying that you sort of sell you sort of mentioned some fashion items in there, some fashionable items.
Yeah, for sure.
Explain this drip choice to me that you got going on right now.
The drip, well, this is actually one of the Digital Dave originals. It is my favorite shirt of all time. And let me tell you, it is like 100% cotton. It's breathable, it's durable, and it is going to cost you $10 to order, but shipping is free. And it probably won't deteriorate within 3 to 4 days. So you can go and find that at DD underscore ship. On Instagram, you can find the link in the bio there to my store, and like it'd be so great if you like bought one. So
Definitely. You sound like a cop. Um is sort of the
I'm not a
vibe
cop.
I'm getting.
That's crazy.
Thank you so much
I'm,
for
like,
coming in,
totally
Digital
down with the
Dave.
kids.
And
I'm
we're sort of
always
just going to get
rizzing
you out
the
of here.
kids.
And
What's...
I'm sorry?
No, it's like I misspoke. I meant to say like I'm always totally like down with the kids, and it's like that was like a mental typo. It's crazy.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So you've sort of
how old are you?
You've admitted to a crime
old...
there is actually what you've done. So we're just going to disconnect him from the call. All right. And David, it looks like we're going to keep you on. We're going to keep you on for...
Yes.
There it is. And
Yes.
perfect. So I'll sort of... Digital Dave isn't seeming so bad now that you've brought back the button. Yeah, interesting. So sort of just to sort of fill you in, meet David.
Yeah, what occurred, because I actually I sort of
had
a bit of a lap,
talking about really just sort of plugging his drop shipping and shit like that, and then I can right at the end.
He's a big, he teaches a 12-week course.
Dude,
I'm like 6 weeks in. And I
said drip to him and stuff, and he started talking about like the breathability of the material that he's wearing. So I'm like, boom, red flags.
How old's this guy?
This dude's a fucking cop. It turns out he is actually 18, but he got held behind, so he's still in high school. It's a weird energy.
Yeah,
and then he
like
specifically said that he rizzes the kids, which is weird that he would like. He just had to go, dude. What the fuck?
That does sound like a cop trying to, like entrapment, where it's like if they say it, you feel like it's okay for you to say it. Like, do you know what I mean?
To be fair though, it did sound, because I am sort of operating off of the understanding that he is a cop. It did. I don't think he meant to say that. I think that he just didn't know what Riz meant, and then said that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You think sort of what occurred there is he sort of, like a 40-year-old guy, Googled Riz and then sort of tried to keep that in his short-term memory throughout the length of the conversation. And by the time you brought it up again, he forgot what it meant.
Yeah, dude.
Is sort of your suspicion.
Tell you what, that wasn't it.
That's crazy.
That ain't it, Chief. I'll say that much. You know what I mean?
That ain't... The advisory's classic phrase. That classic saying, that ain't it, Chief.
Definitely. So I would say, at least for now, like...
I'm still in?
D-Mac, you're the GOAT. You know what I mean? D-Mac's the GOAT.
Let me tell you, it's the end of another fine episode of The Advisory. I'm gonna pour a drink to that. James,
how's that? What are you drinking? What are you drinking right there, real quick? What is that?
It's a Glenfiddich.
Glenfiddich.
A little bit of whiskey.
Oh yeah. Is that shit bussin' or what's that?
Huh? What did you say?
Very easy. I said that shit bussin' or
100% yes.
Totally. Shit. Okay. Cool. I have to get me some.
Yeah. I know. I'm busting all day, bro.
I'm sorry.
Huh? Is that not right? Did I use that wrong? James, I'm always
Thank
pogging.
Thank you so much for... Fuck me. Did you just say pogging? Get us out of here.
James, you can follow us on TikTok at BLK Swan Society. You can find us on the gram, BLK Swan Society. On Twitter, BLK Swan Society. Twitch.tv/Black Swan Society. Usually we're on a Thursday, 6 p.m. AEST. This is an exception because I have an event on tomorrow night. But you can find us there every single week, slinging, slanging, goofing, and gaffing. We are going to have some really exciting new shows for you guys in the new year. We have a project we've been cooking up that's going to be a bit of a duo. And of course, Weird But Wonderful is back in a big way. If you would like to send us an email, you can email us blackswansociety@gmail.com. Send us your questions, ask for some advice, send us your feedback, but only if it's positive.
And really quick, if you're an audio listener, you can send the email to that email address, or I prefer that you would send it to blackswansociety.mail@gmail.com is how you'll get it over to us. So
did we just transpose that wrong?
No, that's
it's just wrong in my doc, or do we have two email addresses?
No, that it's wrong in your doc, and I've changed it every week, except I forgot to change it this week. Also, you'll notice that every previous week I also come in here and I do this as well. This one's sort of
James, you
just
need to change the template, not the document that we're working on.
I'll just sort of admit to everyone that David's hidden the template from me so that I don't. Because you heard him. Yeah, I know. You heard him before talk about how he likes to sort of like hold power over me and stuff like that. He'll do little things like that where he'll take templates for things and he'll stuff them in his pockets so I don't know where they are and can't get to them. That kind of stuff. Very much that type of energy.
It's called episode template. Anyway, you can find us at the correct email address, blackswansociety.mail@gmail.com. Additionally, wherever you find or listen to this podcast, wherever you're watching it or listening, please give us a rating or review on your podcast catcher of choice or whatever it is that platform demands. Helps the algorithm, helps more people find us. 5-star ratings only, obviously. Otherwise, if you think you know someone that would enjoy this kind of unhinged hour of comedy every week, please do send it to them, and just sort of like don't give them any like don't tell them anything about it. Just sort of send them a link and say you should listen to this entire episode and just see what happens with that personal relationship.
Yeah, send it to them and say something like, just say so just send them the link to this episode, and then all you want to say with it is interesting, had me fascinated,
had me scratching my head.
Yeah.
Yeah. As a reminder, Christmas special, 22nd December, 5 p.m. AEST. Stick around. It's going to be a hoot. It's going to be a gas. That's all I've got. I was trying to do other stuff.
We're going to update your phrases, huh? We're going to update your phrases.
Yeah.
Also, I'll ask AI what some good phrases are, and then I'll chuck them in the notes so you can sort of brush up on them.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Otherwise, we'll be back next week on Thursday, 6 p.m. AEST for another fun episode of this show. We are Black Swan Society. This has been The Advisory. Thank you so much for watching and listening. We will catch you at the same bad time, same bad channel next week. Goodbye.
So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, adieu.
Yes!
There it is!